Hello, my name is Ethan and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Ultimatum League 3.14. In this episode I want to go over some early items, some early things you could spend your currency on, things to invest in maybe, things to look out for, things that can make a significant difference in Summoner that always does and hasn't changed and is going to be the main ways that most Summoner builds are going to gain significant damage, or specifically also golems. Today we're looking at this summon stone golem build. I made this as a budget option for the beginning after the early start with the skeletons and the zombies and you farmed up and you're looking for things to buy. This kind of gives you inspiration maybe. So what I've put together here is very simple, honestly. Rare items with literally res and life. They're just generic, no influence rare items. And then I went and put an Elder Bone helmet with minion life so you can keep your stuff alive, your specters. And we do 2 cold iron points. Down here I did 1 anima stone, a primordial might, and then 4 harmonies. Technically you can do 2 harmonies, but I liked more. I had the option of putting in an eminence, and I said, no, another harmony, please, boom. And I prioritized summon golems have 45% increased cooldown recovery rate. Now, there's going to be a lot of stuff here because I'm telling you, this is just the simple part of like telling you what I've picked and put together and then the priorities. But then there will be that person who asks, how would you take this even further? So I'll do that as well at the end. So, or not even, it'll probably be like midway and that'll make it longer. But we're going to start off just explaining what I did first. And then I'll also explain the add-on of taking this even further because you can. This was budget. I'm telling, now let me explain how this is budget. This is a good part. No Awaken gems. We got, yep, no Awaken gems. Yep. Oh yeah, this is supposed to be socketed in the, hold up, wait a minute, boot. Yeah, so this is a budget build. Like I said, no influence items except for an influenced helmet, which is item level 80, Elder. And then 2 cold iron points, the jewels. So the jewels might be expensive. And then, so my point also is that I'm not only going to point out these items, I'm going to point out more stuff. And, oh, there's also cluster jewels. So I put these in. And the main reason is because when I make a build again, and I'm planning it out to make it bigger, I'm like, yo, dude, I want that 100% impale. And so, Rotting Claws, 12%, and we're at 93, and so this doesn't have Divergent Dread Banner for the extra impale, and it doesn't have Anomalous Impale for the extra impale, so that's a thing. So we're only at 93, so this was huge to get the extra impale, but I don't know if I would do a large cluster just to get Rotting Claws without getting these extra nodes. So what I chose is I want to go Primordial Bond in this build because it's a Stone Golem, Chaos Golem build. Elementalist, so increasing the Golem buff effect, and then I get 2% physical damage reduction and like 44 regen, which is nice. You could do without this in softcore. And then Renewal, this got nerfed to 5%, but our minions should be at full life, like our golems, our stone golems should be at full life because they're immune to elemental damage. They're pretty cool in that way. And then I did this neat thing because I don't take Indomitable Army and Grave Intentions in the build. You may wonder, how do you res cap the minions? This is an old thing we used to do. We take Sacrifice, 10% elemental res, and then you go into Spectre and you use Elemental Army and you get 29% all res. So this is actually 39 all res if you think about it, with the 2. And so that's enough to cap them because they already had 40. So it takes them to 79. And then you can actually show it on like the Animate Guardian. which the Animate Guardian will show with your gear, but don't worry about that. It's just over res cap, it's fine. But point is, that's how I res capped them. I used Elemental Army, and then they go to actually 79 instead of 75. It's kind of cool, so they're tankier. And then I did a second large cluster for more impale, and then we went down here for Soul of Steel for the max res and the armor. So we were able to achieve 198% increased armor, and so without Flasks, we got 10,000 armor with rare items and no shield. And then with the Flasks, I was able to have tankiness that looks like this against a 5,000 physical hit. 5,000, 78,000, 66, 54. It's not the tankiest, but it's not the squishiest thing I've ever made. It actually looks pretty solid. And then I chose Solaris here for the crit reduction, like being crit, because, well, if you can't get the garb of the ephemeral, I'm all over the place. We'll explain, yeah, let's explain the Animate Guardian for this part, for the Pantheons. So in this build, I use an Animate Guardian. I put it up here. Now, I'm not sure, obviously, what the prices will be exactly for everything, because they've changed so much, but I can give you everything I know. And so, in this build, the Animate Guardian needs 55 Chaos Resistance, because we don't take Grave Intention, so it has none. So it starts with 20. I can show you if I get it to stop showing the default item set, which is by enabling a second one with AG. And then you can enable in here to show this. And now you can see the reses are 79 and then 20 chaos. And so it has 79 res. Okay, but so 55 chaos to cap, and then I want 35 elemental res in the case of the curse elemental weakness, because it can lower the resistance by 35, and I'm 100% certain that this is why anyone else's AG always rips and mine doesn't. I tell them all the time, put the 35 extra res, but nobody fucking listens for sure, because it costs more, or it's harder, and they don't want to, or they miss this one small part. But it's actually probably big, because this comes up one time and your thing's gone, and then it's like, what happened? Well, your res went down 35, and so instead of taking 25 damage, or 21 in this case, they only take 21, which this could go to 80, actually, because of the Elemental Army. They only have 79 res right now. It's missing one. And so instead of 21 damage, imagine missing 35. You take 56% damage. So that 21 scaled to 56. We're talking over double damage. That's how your shit just randomly dies because of an elemental weakness curse. Anyways, back to the basics. Our armor bases would be preferred for the physical damage reduction on the Animate Guardian, a Kingmaker weapon for Fortify and Culling and Crit Multiplier. A Corrupted Glove with Vulnerability Curse on hit is what you're looking for. A boot with movement speed and stuff he is missing, like the Chaos Resist, Elemental Resist, Life, that seems good. For helmet, it's an Elder item level 85 helmet for the mod nearby enemies take 9% increase physical damage. You could just go for like regular stuff like Chaos Res and Life and whatever. But remember, I'm going to remind you now because no one has ever reminded you. Remember which items you put on him and where the reses are and how much res is on each item. Maybe take a picture of the items or a video of you putting the Animate Guardian together, because you won't remember what was on the items and there's no way to check them after you put them on. So maybe remember them, make a way to remind yourself so that you can change, because if you change them later, you get a new item and you want to replace it, you can delete the old helmet by just using it again on the new helmet and it'll replace it, but you have to remember kind of like what the items were, or you could just fully replace the whole Animate Guardian, but it'd be better to remember like, oh, I have this, then this, and this, and I'm only missing 5 res here, and that's all I need, and it'd be way better. For the body armor, I prefer Garb of the Ephemeral from the Cortex for crit immunity, but I can also use Gruthgal's Pelt for the huge HP regen. And then for Spectres, we start with 2 Carnage Chieftains, and then for the 3rd Spectre, I get a Host Chieftain. I find Carnage Chieftains in Old Fields Act 2 and then Ashen Fields Act 7. And then you can also find Host Chieftains in Ashen Fields Act 7. Yes. So, just to run through this, I was able to pump out 6.5 million DPS with Stone Golems, have 1,100 regen, 6,000 life, the pretty decent tankiness. Like look at the AG though. What the fuck? The AG's so tanky without gear. That's without gear. And then with the 20 and the wow, that's so tanky, dude. Holy shit. That's because of the minion life 20. It's so insane. It's actually so insane because our build's balanced around regular minions, not even with the minion life 20, and then they have minion life 20. Like look at the effective health on this, and that's 20 chaos on the Stone Golem, and this is without minion life. Stone Golem Pog. This is because of Cold Iron points scaling the level of the Animate Guardian and the Stone Golems, and that's why we get so much regen and shit, and then it scales with the Elementalist. It's just so good. Levels are so nice, man. I honestly, when I added the Cold Iron points, it doubled my damage. It's so fucking stupid, dude. It's literally, it's the budget way to show off, and then the way is physical, so it's like animate weapons or Stone Golems or carry-on golems, but they just nerf carry-on golems again, and Stone Golems are already really sick actually with Elementalist, and we had that big build that I already showed before the patch, and that's really sick too. And then people will say, well, Ethan, how do you scale this further? Because you've shown us regular items and Cold Iron points, and then the unique items, the unique jewels and the cluster. Sure. Okay, so let me show you these flasks first. So I do my normal flask, the Forbidden Taste, the Basalt with the Bleed. We don't have to get Freeze or Ignite or Shock because we're Elemental Ailment immune in this build. So we're able to get like increased armor and bleeding and curse and move speed and nice things. And then a Forbidden Taste. So we have the phasing, we have Quartz, we have Granite Basalt, tanky as fuck. I've already shown the stats. My shit just crashed. I'm back. I fixed it, but really I remade the entire path of building very quickly because I had the whole video and I could just rewatch it, and like it's not exactly the same. I changed it a bit, but the breakpoints are the same: 1.3, 6,000, 24,000 armor. You know, all the stuff that we had. Oh, I don't have this part, and Abrath for the Burning Ground, there you go. And I didn't put in the 5,000 physical hit. Like, I'm sure I'm missing stuff. It happens. Can't do anything about it. But either way, where I was, my notes. My Animate Guardian notes. I'll fill them in after. Either way, what's left over is where can you take this build, or how can you take this build further, even further beyond? I want more damage, Ethan. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I also, yeah, I did this. I don't know if this was in the other one, but I did this. I figured this out, take out this, and then path, get Unwavering for the, I don't know if it was like this in the video originally, but if you want to upgrade the build, it's very simple, of at least this. And then what are the priorities of Awaken gems? So what does Awaken Melee Fizz do? Awaken Melee Fizz gives you a chance to intimidate, gives your minions a chance to intimidate, and then intimidate makes intimidated enemies take increased attack damage of 10%. So it's big. You should definitely, that's one of the first ones you want to get, Awakened Melee Physical. The other one that's really nice is Awakened Generosity, because you get increased aura effect of the Dread Banner, and the Dread Banner is how we're getting the Impale. And as I showed, we only had 93 impale, so we actually need like Awaken Generosity, or we need Divergent Dreadbanner for the extra 5%, or we need Anomalous Impale for the 10%, and that'll take us to 100. There's a bunch of options here of ways to increase the impale, and that's what I currently recommend for that. And then so the two first gems to look at would be Awaken Generosity and Awaken Melee Fizz. And honestly, Awaken minion damage is normally pretty cheap early, like an X. So if you watch this video and I was right again, well, you're welcome. For some reason it's cheap early because people forget, because they only prioritize the Melee Fizz and the Generosity and all the other stuff, and they forget about just Awaken minion damage, and it's actually not bad. And then Brutality is actually really good because it has the overwhelming physical damage reduction. So it's like, it's really, really good. It's really valuable if it's cheap early. Awaken gems are sick if you can get them for damage, obviously. And then there's like a couple alternate quality of like the Anomalous Impale or the Divergent Dreadbanner for the extra impale, so that maybe you don't even need one of these large clusters either. If you could cut one of these large clusters, it would kind of be nice and make this build even cheaper. And you go for alternate quality, but then Heist. And how big is Heist gonna be this season, guys? I was also thinking about it. How hard is Cluster Jewels gonna be? Are we even gonna be able to get these? Like, you have to go do Delirium, and they lowered the chance, and it only comes from Delirium. You can't get these in Heist anymore. You can't get them from other places. So that's annoying. You actually have to start thinking about all this shit. It's like they've changed quite a bit of stuff and made some stuff harder to get. And then at League Start especially, that's why it's so impactful. And so if we can't use clusters early, or if they're way too expensive, then alternate quality Dreadbanner and Impale for the Impale chance start to look better. Yep, this is very interesting to bring up, and I like showing this. So there's 5 stone golems, and it's sick. And obviously you could then get big fucking deeps, and then you could cut maybe something, because maybe you'll have too much damage. Just kidding, guys. Well, either way, I got the build back up, so I can now leave a POB to this. I'll have to rewrite the notes, but thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope I helped you guys with your League Start. Oh, I noticed one more thing. Ah, man, I'm gonna fucking miss shit. I can already tell. Anoint. Ravenous Horde. Like, it was such a good POB. Oh, god damn it, dude. Ah, shit. Oh, we're at 1.4 now. We gained damage. Yes. But yeah, I'll rewrite the notes. And thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I'm scared. Let me take this opportunity to thank my Patreon and my YouTube members who financially support the channel. I can't do this without you guys, so thank you guys for all the support. And thank you to anyone new who joins the Patreon and the YouTube members today. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!